how much should I spend on marketing in my business? And I personally, I hate this question. I used to get on the phone with marketing agencies and they used to basically say, how much do you want to spend? And I always used to say, well, what's the return on investment? One of my marketing mentors, they used to say, if I put in $1 and it basically gave me 2, my spending could be unlimited, right? So basically, if you start to think of, if I put in $1 and I can get a return on that money and it's a multiple of what I put in, the budget is unlimited. And it's basically how fast you want to grow your company is a better question. So I really hate that question of how much should I spend on my marketing budget? It should be 10% or 20% of my annual revenue. And I think that's all bullshit. Is that if you can really understand what is going to be the ROI on that and how fast do you want to grow your business. For me, I was spending about $7,000 in Google and that was returning about $30,000 to $50,000 in revenue. And basically I was thinking about how can I spend more to basically get a higher rate of return. But then you start to run into constraints because just because you can spend more doesn't mean you have fulfillment. Once you start getting these leads pouring in, can your team actually close and fulfill? So there's going to be kind of this catch-22 that's a better question of, can my team actually support the spend that I'm doing when the leads are actually flowing in? One of the best principles though that I did hear is what's the minimum ROI on ad spend? One of my marketing mentors basically broke it down very simply is that he likes to see $1 in ad spend equal 3 times in revenue. So start to think about that. If you spent, $10,000, you want to make $30,000. And that his theory was that, most of the time is that most businesses aren't running above a 50%. So you put in $1 and it makes you 2, and then you have overhead and expenses that are 50%, you're back to the dollar. So he really thinks in order to scale, it's a 1 to 3. And that's always stuck with me in regards to what should my ad spend be on compared to my ROI. So that the idea of having a marketing budget versus like, what are the numbers that I need in order to get this to scale is a much better question to ask. And 2 of my other mentors are huge on understanding what they call the value ladder. And basically the value ladder is really starting to understand is what's your business model going to look like? So basically, what does it cost you to get a lead? So you need to know what is your cost per lead. And basically, let's just say you were spending money on ads and per customer, it was costing you, for example purposes, $200. And then with that $200, how many of those leads did you need to get before you got that conversion? And then what was the price of that sale? And basically that's where you want that 3 to 1. But if you can use this value ladder is that you could have another higher ticket. So could there be something in your business that you could add on, or do you already have that in your business? And then you need to think of what's the lifetime value of that customer. Is that customer going to come back in a short period of time? But you really need to understand this lifetime value and then this cost per lead and then your conversion. So when you're starting to think of how much can I spend on my ad budget, that pretty much to me is irrelevant, is what's going to be my return on investment, ROI, return on ad spend, and then what is the lifetime value of that customer, and basically how much am I paying to get that customer. So these are all things that you need to be thinking about when you're asking yourself the question of how much should I be spending on marketing for my business. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe for more.